Good morning to one and all. How many here? 40.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so we'll start since we need not wait for others to join. Meanwhile, they can join. So we were talking about the same screen is as it come. Is it visible? Can anybody know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's good. Okay. So uh, first, there are different theories. Five. How many here? Four different theories would explain us the personality development. So we're talking about trait, psychodynamic, humanistic, and then integrative. Integrative means is it's like individual, completely individual. It doesn't focus on collectively. I mean society, whatever it is. So pure individual, psychological, pure. What I can say, the same. It's similar to psychodynamic, unconscious, subconscious. In that process only individually, it is like traits, psychological tests some people do, right? Psychoanalysis, uh, where is it? Okay, now there are again okay, theory, these are theories, and then we have also traits, characteristics. Okay, so nature, of human personality, what are the characteristics of human personality? That is what, you know so there are different type of you know characteristics of human being, and the left side is explained, and then right side there are different words. Okay, uh, so through them, through which we can understand what is the nature of uh, particular person, having particular trait means characteristics, right? Abilities, okay, generally you can say. So one is extraversion. What is extraversion? So some people are extrovert. Have you heard the word extrovert and introvert? Some people say, right? You never, I think. Some of you might have, extrovert, introvert. So extraversion means this is a quality of human being. Some people have this quality, and their nature. How do they behave? They are all gregarious. What does it mean? Socially, how we have to say, they are social level, social qualities, they're not individual, you know they are not individual at all, right? It means fond of company. What does it mean? What does it mean? They like to mingle with others, a group atmosphere. That is what is sociable. Assertive means they're not weak, they're not, you know uh, not you not the word, that's not the word. So they're not submissive, neither they're submissive nor they are uh, extremist, very dangerous, very assert, in between there is some word, assertive, man, balanced type of people, balance. And then another type of people, agreeableness. We agree means accepted people, accepted some they'll accept whatever the situation is. They'll accept whatever others say. So not a challenging. It's medium. Nature is very simple. So you might say mentally, okay, they're nice. Okay, they're all the time. Not a problem makers. So what is their nature? They're cooperative. Warm and agreeable. Friendly. Right. Warm greetings. We say right. Friendly greetings. And there are another type of people. Conscious. Conciseness. Conciseness. This is completely intelligent. It's like not intelligence. So this look at the word nature. They're hard work, organized, systematic. Hmm? They're dependable, obviously. So conciseness means aware of something, right? When you say consciousness, aware of something, So therefore, aware means what is the nature of awareness? See, because they know they cannot survive, individually all the time. Cannot survive individually all the time, right? Understand? So therefore, we are all dependable, right? In one or another way. Am I right? From birth to death, either a family, either society, right? So human beings. That's why Aristotle called human beings are man is social animal, right? Dependable, right? And then another type of people, emotional stability. So this is all a little bit intellectual. So to higher level thinkers, we can say, higher level thinkers, they manage, they balance thinking, and feelings. When in the previous class we talk about, right, this emotional intelligence. So only, high level thinkers can connect, can balance IQ and EQ. So much, they never get tension, they never get into trouble. They're cool, whatever difficult situation, may rise to them. They're cool and calm and obviously self-confident, they have self-confidence. Right? And don't compare with one to another. My point is here. Sometimes any person can have more than one, more than one traits, right? So this is just to understand, nature of characteristics of human beings. And this is also advanced level of people, openness to experience, creative, curious, culture. What is cultured? What do you mean by culture? Yes, what do you mean by culture? Yes, culture means refined, uh, how do we say, uh, you know, refined, civilized. Yeah, right. Civilized. People say civilization, refined. That's what, the culture, right? So these are the different traits. And then this is all, when we, in the beginning, different big, we say, big five personality traits. This is a theory, and as big five. What is it? Big five. Five type of traits people have in their, you know, as far as their mind is concerned. So, and also personality has impact on organizations, right? And not only family, institutions, all that. Right? So here, these characteristics, how does influence in organization? Just read this, look at this. So internally and externally, our living, our influence, play, our mind play important role, affect important role in organizations. So what is locus? Position, the route, the curve. We say, this is the track, locus of control. Internally, I control what happens to me internally, and people and circumstances control my fate. So both are sometime, required. Both are on both level. We are, engaged in these organizations, right? Internally, you monitor yourself, you control yourself, and externally, others and the situation and the institution and the environment and the culture, working culture, whatever it is, affect your position, your fate. We say fate is not like that meaning here. Your position. So there are three things here. We need to get very, very important words. Self-efficacy 1, self-esteem 1, self-monitor. Internal, right? Then I'm just coming again. Wait. Okay. Yeah. What is efficacy? Efficiency, ability, strength. Efficacy, is nothing but efficiency. Efficient. Able person, right? Able, capacity, able to do something. Right? So how do we, able to understand, this important aspect, because it is purely related to personal self, efficient, self-abled. And what is the nature of self-efficacy? Look at the word, when I say efficacy means efficient, able, not a failure, right? Self, and individually strong. Beliefs and expectations about one's ability to accomplish a specific task effectively. Here beliefs and expectations determine, decide the level of self capacity of human beings. Now, what is important here? For each and everything, for human beings, think about it, decide. Some people, don't care this, I know. They'll trouble later, and they'll be in trouble. Beliefs are the basic for human beings to go further. Are we together? Are we all together?
Yes,
Are you
sir.
listening? So now, understand this is very,
Yes,
very
sir.
important. So beliefs, without belief, If you don't believe, what happens? That's why people give lectures, philosophical lecture. Believe in yourself. Don't believe in others. Don't believe in others. They say, right? Why do they say? They're warning you. If you believe others without believing you, they'll be trapping you somewhere. So therefore, you know, self capacity. The to what extent you have capacity, you have able, qualities to do things, in a perfect manner. Decides is decided by your beliefs and expectations, not about others, about yourself, your own capacity. So you have to know, okay, I know my work. I know what is my responsibility. I know you have to say yourself, I know what should I do? What is my responsibility? What is my strengths? Uh, what is my weakness as well, right? So everything you should know. That is what strength, belief. So sources here, what is that? Prior experiences, obviously. Last year experience, if you have a lot of experience, past experience, so then with that experience you move ahead. If you don't have experience, you have, you know, you have to learn it. You have to wait for time. You have to wait for that. And prior success as well. And models, behavior models, observing success, observation in all the context. Persuasion, convincing quality, right? Assessment of current physical and emotional, this is a monitoring, self uh, regulate, self regulation, one should regulate, control oneself. In this way, self efficacy works in organizations. What is self esteem? That is self efficacy, self uh, mm, strength. Okay, self strength. Now, what is this self esteem? Again, same word is written here, feelings of self worth. Esteem means, what is self esteem?
What?
Yeah. Uh, Now,
Value.
clear, tangible. Okay. Again, we have to move further, why don't we call it? It's like, you know, pride, dignity, right? Proud of you. Some people say, I'm proud of myself, I did all that very confidently. Right? Respect, this is also, self-esteem and self-respect, pride, right? So therefore, self-worth, not like having inferior complex. See, people have nowadays everything, they have money, power, you know, they have relatives, they have friends, everything, they have their family, but mentally they're weak. The reason is, they don't have this quality. They don't have this, a trait in their mind. Self-esteem is required. Otherwise, what happens, people will enter into depression, or they will they will enter into inferior complex. This is a very dangerous word, in psychology. Right? And success, see, there's a connection between, success and failure, as far as self-esteem is concerned. You know, failure tends to decrease self-esteem. Fine. Continuous failure, not temporary failure. So because everybody feels, I know, right? You know, sometimes, you have to learn lessons, after failures. So again, failure repeated, what happens? Again, the failure is repeated. So you lose, the concept of self-esteem. Success obviously helps you to strengthen your, self-esteem. Self-efficacy is one. Self-esteem is another one. Now, self-monitoring. Self-monitoring. So what is self-monitoring? Behavior based on cues from people and situations, evidences, reason. So monitor, and there are two type of monitoring as far as self is concerned. Uh, High and low. 1 minute. Just 1 second, Okay. You know, so one should monitor oneself. This is the third stage. So who monitors oneself? The question is those who have, self-confident, self-efficiency, self-esteem can monitor themselves, right? So in the process of monitoring, two type of stages, we can also come across high self-monitors and low self-monitor. There are two type of people. So high self-monitor means control, oneself. So most of the time we fail to control ourselves. Am I right? You know, we wanted to wake up at exactly 5 or 6, but we failed to. You know, we thought, okay, we decided, before going to bed, okay, I'll wake up exactly. Not only this, daily, okay, so people think, tomorrow I have to do that, I have to finish that, or I have to finish that. But when tomorrow comes, again, when what do they say? Again, one more tomorrow comes, right? Again, one more tomorrow comes. Is this true, right? Most of the time, you know,
Yes, sir.
postponement of work. So the reason for this is a lack of what I'd say. It's not like I don't say they're not monitoring themselves, but they're low self monitors. I know they're very good, they're intelligent, and their hard work, everything is appreciable. But as far as monitoring is concerned, low, you know, monitor. So now, so let's see the difference, between high and low monitor. high self monitors are flexible, the people who are these people are flexible, flexible means relaxable, not conditioned, adjustable, adjust behavior according to the situation and the behavior of others. They welcome the change, and they can also can appear unpredictable and inconsistent. What is this? This is problematic, right? This is continuous change, every time changing, how can we understand those people, right? They say, they're very peculiar people, no? They changed a lot. They changed a lot. Peculiar, peculiar, right? We say, changed a lot. We say some people, a friend circle all the time, you stop talking to each other, and then, reason is that, feeling, okay, so he changed a lot. Earlier he was different, now he changed a lot, now he's not listening to me, he's avoiding, various reasons. That is why inconsistent, there's no fixed nature here, so that, when time changes, they change. When context changes, they change. When situation changes, they change. The question we'll understand, we should know, whether that is change is good or bad, whether inconsistency is good or bad. Now, let's move to another one. Low self monitors. Who are they act from internal states rather than from situational cues. Internally, strong. They never care about others outside. So, there is some here, consistency is there. Show consistency, and less likely to respond to what group norms or supervisory feedback. And here in individual, they're individual. And who is flexible? Those who has a connection to the society, those who has a relations with the other people, connected to other people. They are flexible because they need to perform different roles. Individually they are one, and then when we move to when they move from individual to universal, from personal to social, their act, their behavior changes. That's what, they monitor highly. They monitor highly. Right? So who is most likely to? Yeah. So high self monitors are good. Now look at, here, get promoted. Who get promoted? Who get advantages? Accomplish tasks, meet others' expectations, seek out central position in a social network. They say, they're important to the society. They feel they're important to the society. They're important to the society. Right? Change. And this is very, very, very. Yeah. So, what is the meaning of employers? Employer
job.
mean no. Employer is the one who gives the job. Employee is the one who takes the job. Got the difference? Did you get the difference? Employer means who? NIT Jamshedpur is employee or employee? Employer, tell me.
Employer.
Employer. Okay. So employer means the body, organization which offers jobs. Employee means, you see, we're all employees here, faculty are all employees. Who takes the job, who adopts, who accepts the job. given by an citizenship as employer. So here, the high self-monitor people change their employers all the time. They change their jobs. You know, for some years they work one company, again next year they go for another company. They don't want to fix, and they feel moving from one place to another, one institution to another is like thrilling experience, and like happy for them. Those who don't have you know high self monitor skills, you know don't prefer to move. They say, okay, I'm adjusted here, I know everything is fine, my family is fine, everything is okay, I like this place, I don't want to move anywhere. you know adventure is less in a low self monitors. Now, in which category you want to become? Tell me. High self monitor or changing employer is good, not continuously, right? If opportunity comes, why do you leave that opportunity, right? Am I right? So you have to grab new opportunity and then move one to another place. This is what matters, for high self monitors. Make a job related geographic move. That's what region, from region to region, from company to company, from institution to institution. What happen, if you suppose you are from one place of somewhere in India, right? If you get all the education, school, college, university, everything at one place, what happens? And then if you move from different places to to get different degrees, what is the difference? What is good here? Getting all the degrees one place is good, or moving from one to another and they're getting wonderful experiences, and then mind change, everything changes, right? Right? Geographic move is very, very, very important. Right? Geographic move is required. It demonstrate higher levels of managerial self-awareness, based behavior on others, cues, and the situation. Now, there are two words here: positive affect and negative affect. And in what type of nature of this positive affect? An individual's tendency to accentuate, what is this? Accentuate. Accentuate means, what is this meaning? So observable, noticeable. Okay. Positive aspect of oneself, other people, and the world is the world in general. So, what is negative? An individual's tendency to accentuate the negative aspects of oneself, other people, and the world in general. So, even this, there are some institutions, they give lectures on personality development, all that, uh, psychological, training centers. Positive. They say, positive tendency, even if a lot of problems come. Positive tendency is positive. Right? So I would suggest you to be in what field? So you have to be positive about organization. So if you want to leave the institution, it doesn't mean that you have a problem with, you're a negative, you have negative influence, negative experience, so therefore you are leaving. No. So positive also you leave, right? But you want to explore further opportunity. That's the reason. That's the reason. So you are, looking for better opportunities, better career, prospects. So movement from one to another place doesn't indicate, you have a negative, aspects, right? So this is what, to be understood. See, look at, here. The image, look at the image. There are two people here. There's a destination there. Is it visible? You have to speak something about this image. Don't read the text. What comes to your mind after, when you, as soon as when you look at this image? Tell me now.
Supporting someone.
Sorry. Repeat again.
One guy is helping other guy to
That
reach
is
the
one
top.
thing. That is one thing. Okay. And there's one side. There's a destination. You can call it.
Circumstances are,
Yeah. So you can call
circumstances
it.
are for-
Okay. Circumstances are.
forcing the people to rise more and more in his life.
Okay. That's true. Okay. So because everybody, wants to go on the top. Okay. Because there is a level, right? And also there's a destination called, mark is there in a corner. And that's success. We can call it destination or success. Is it a straight or it has any curve pattern? It is a store. It has different staircases, right? You know, right?
Obstacle in path of success.
Wonderful. Obstacles, difficulties in the path. If it is a straight, you can move easily, right? Different steps are there. Different steps you have to. Someone's self is required, right? Otherwise, if someone doesn't hold the support of you, you know, maybe or may not be, you are going to that steps, but it's required. Strong situation can overwhelm the effects of individual personalities by proving strong cues for appropriate behavior. So only behavior. This is mindset. One has to change. One has to think about it. So obstacles are the basic prerequisite aspects. One has to overcome them. Problems one has to face, because then the path is not equal. Path is not as easy you think. There's one play written by William Shakespeare. Uh, can you remember? As You Like It. How many of you remember? Can remember As You Like It? Are you aware of this play? No? Shakespeare has written, William Shakespeare, is is my favorite writer. Uh, what he has written? A play called a drama. You know, title is As You Like It. It tells about the life of, ours, human beings. And at the end, Shakespeare claims that life is not as you like it. Life is not as you like it. Is it true? Obviously, obviously, you know, clearly tells, life is not as you like it. That's the reason, how we have to move. Even if you don't like, you have to make something. See, these are the quotations sometimes, see how we say strong personalities will dominate in a weak situation. So this is in Indian context, right? Did you experience this thing? Because weeks are more in number, you know, in surrounding us. Look at here, no? Everybody feels privilege, pride in their own status, in their own position or situation. But somebody, look at, the top, the person who sits in the top occupies more than, what these two subordinates, weak people occupied. What does it indicate? Tell me. What does it indicate? When you look at the image, strong is powerful. It says strong is powerful. Strong is dominant. Strong is more, uh, you know, it's like a boss attitude, Yeah. He expects others to be submissive under him, her, right? So, and it can also change, the person who is in the V, in the last bottom, with his own hard work, and he can also move into the stage, into the top seat. Seats are more, there's a more demand, for seats in India. Chief Minister seat, Prime Minister seat, position, right? Vice Chancellor seat, Director seats, right? Anybody can move in that space. Anybody can occupy that seat. But some, qualities are required. So I mean, I never meant, only a after reading this soft skill course, you will, and everything is required. Apart from this, something else also required. Your content, your, background information, everything matters. So because in psychology researchers, they have these type of tests, uh, ready-made type of questions, they bring to the patients, sorry, to the, audience, and then, ask them to give a response, feedback, and based on the feedback, uh, the results will be given. They'll measure what is your level of, personality development, level of personality traits, all that. These are the tests, you need not worry about that. And you just know the fact that, there are some tests, psychological tests, which can tell you, and what level your mind is there, your personality has come up. Okay. There are, see, look at, projective test, behavioral measures, self-report questionnaire, Myers-Briggs type indicator, MBTI test, all that. See, these are the tests developed by psychological uh, expert, expert in psychology. And the reason for developing all these texts or the tests, this one, based on the Carl Jung. Carl Jung is one of the psychoanalyst. He talks about collective psychology. He never focused on individual psychology. Though Sigmund Freud, basic father of psychology, uh, focused on individual. But this person, another psychologist, Carl Jung, gave a theory on collectively. Generally, not generally. He has a theory also. Instead of talking about personally, he uh, studied the people's mind in terms of group level, in terms of social level. Not one person, it's a group, a collective. So what it indicates, according to this Myers-Briggs type indicator, these people are fundamentally different. Not all are equal. Then how come people we say give lectures all the time, all are equal, all are equal, all are. This is ridiculous, right? Body is maybe body also a little different, I know. Mind is different. So the theory says people are fundamentally different. One proposition, and again people are fundamentally alike. Two sides, is giving two sides balance. Some people totally different. Some people are similar like us. And another one, people have preference combinations for extraversion, introversion, perception, and judgment. Different and alike is one thing. Another part, and here they have special preferences in their life. Some people don't have. Only some people have. Not all people have preferences. So the entire theme for this test, MD, Vickers and Myers, these are the names. Researchers, and based on the coupling psychology, this Bridges and Myers developed one test MBTI to evaluate the difference between different people, individual differences. Right. These are different type of preferences, okay? And what does this preference represents? Two type of preferences. Some people may prefer extraversion. Some other people may prefer introversion. And what is their representation? How one re-energizes, activates mentally, psychologically. Some people, it's like see, introversion is this one, remaining three. What is this? Sensing, thinking and judging. These are the people. Extrovert, and then introvert, intuiting, feeling, and perceiving. These are the differences. What is the sense? Extrovert. How he gathers information. And then how introvert. It's another word for sensing. Antonym. You can say another. Replacing word for sensing. Intuiting. Or like entering deep the depth level. Introverts are hidden, internally. Thinking versus feeling. When we say thinking is IQ, feeling is what is it?
EQ.
EQ. So these are the preferences. There are two people to look at it. Assume that there are two people. So one person has more IQ. Another person has more EQ. So now what is the difference? So what do they do? It helps them, the IQ or EQ, whether they have different, you know, dominant. What is more important? So everybody is required both. I know, but what is some people have more? That's what I say. So therefore, that IQ or EQ helps person to take decisions. This is very important. This is very important. Feelings also helpful to take decision. Because many levels. I know. To build a relationships, good relationship, to continue relationship, everything, it depends on your decisions, right? If you decide, okay, I don't want to, continue this friendship anymore, then you decide, right? You leave that person, you leave it, right? Judging and perceiving is another type of preference, two different. And here, how one means anybody, how one orients to the outer world, outer world. No, actually, this is social perception. This is all we talked about. Individually, little bit connection to society. So this maybe this is another topic. It is very interesting. We talk about social perception. So individually, people have different type of these. Sensing, intuiting, introvert, extrovert, judging. All. So socially, some people have a mind. They have their own personality. So that we talk about in next class. Maybe I feel it's little tough. You have to read and again uh, so that I will know what it clearly is. Because if I again immediately this definition, so social perception is one thing, not individually. It's like socially, collectively. you know this is very important, and it has its own barriers. It has its own limitations as well. So we'll continue this social perception. Maybe in one class we'll finish it. At least, I'm just expecting, I know it is tough because it's, sometimes you forget, right? It's not easy to remember all the time. Shall we leave then? See you next class. Probably Thursday. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.